Welcome back everyone to Welstopia, and between episodes I did a little bit of extra fishing and I finally fished out a book. No, not mending or anything like that, but it was Feather Falling 4. And I must say, that is something that is well worth the 4 XP it cost me to apply that to my boots. So we at least have some good news to start out with, because it'll be balanced out with a little bit of bad news. I created the stairway on both ends, and you saw me start the thing in the last episode and going down. I managed to center correctly, get it all the way across. I computed everything, I set it up, and then I realized, yeah, I was converting the map 1 block per square instead of 3 blocks per square. I don't know how I did that after that spiel I gave in the last episode all about my scaling. So I need to rethink these things a little bit. I can think of 3 ways of handling the current situation. One of them is to make the upstairs 3 times larger. That is not going to happen. And that way I would be able to go down and feed in perfectly. The second thing to do would be to bring the stairs down further in this direction, twist around, go down a bit further, twist around here, and then build this corridor out here. That is something that could work. But I think I got a better plan. It so happens that in the dungeon just south to where the stairs come down and have this corridor that meet each other, you have a place where there is a slightly more south point of the corridor that branches out to 2 that go inside and then have these small rooms at the end. If I can make those the stair points, then have these as a landing, turn in, they go up, then turn, this one turn left, the other one turn right of course, and then go down, and that will feed into our corridors. And therefore, instead of having our stairs up, we could have the rooms that I just deleted, and I can have the long corridor I want. Therefore, I can actually move the stairs to a different room in the dungeon that's nearby, and then move the room that I moved up to where the stairs are now, and then I think I'll be able to get the map otherwise into the right size. That means this will no longer all connect across, but I think it will work. I finally decided on what I was going to be doing, and after going down the stairs here, we're going to turn right here up in this direction. Then we'll do the same thing for the other side, and these are going to be the main 2 corridors for the dungeon. And a little bit in, we'll have the connector that is going to replace what this was supposed to represent, and they should be the right distance apart. That'll be good. Now, between my last scene and this one, I did run into a little interesting question. Looky here. Now, this means that there's some dark place where zombies were still able to spawn. Now, I did take care of a couple of things between scenes, so perhaps I've taken care of them since then, but I do have to keep a close watch just in case there are any more spawnable locations. I know those 2 are too high up to have been spawnable locations, so I need to keep a close eye. Yeah, I think I've already taken care of all of those spots, so I have to do a few more rounds, make sure that everything is either A, non-spawnable, or B, nothing could access us. But I need to do something about this guy. And he gave me a merry chase, but eventually I was able to trap him inside of a boat. And it prompted me to make a few of these splash potions of weakness. So all I need is a golden apple, and I could try an experiment that I have yet to successfully complete in this game. But first, I'm going to need an apple. Now that I have an apple, I need to make it golden, and golden apples are very expensive. 8 gold ingots? Good grief! This thing had better work the first time, or wow, it'll be the most expensive experiment ever. Well, it's going to be the most expensive experiment no matter what. The question is whether it's a successful one or not. Now, I guess I need to do something to contain this guy. A, to keep unwanted mobs away, and B, I don't know what's going to happen as soon as I feed this apple to him. I heard that they get stronger or something like this. I don't know if they're able to break the boat or anything like that. If he stays in the boat, then all is well. Of course, I put him right where that's located. So I think I just need to contain him, and if I do that, I'll do the experiment. I decided to name this zombie villager Hope, as in, boy, I hope that this works. Very well, let's see. Okay, that worked. I guess I was under the impression that the process took several minutes, but he transformed right away. Though it looks like, well, I don't see the, oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, I've got the weakness potion still on me, so I have to keep that into account. And Hope is, well, paper trade. I was expecting that. I did see the white coat on him, so I was assuming it was going to be some sort of a librarian. Luck of the Sea 1. Certainly not Luck of the Librarian 1. Well, I'll have to do some trades here. 30 paper trade. Hopefully some of the books are good. Nevertheless, I'll incorporate this new citizen into my build by having a little library right here as one of the side rooms. So the library then, I can put the library in there, maybe make an enchantry. If I can get some bookshelves. Now, actually, I think librarians are able to create bookshelves if you give them enough paper and get enough emeralds. But that's going to take some time. And time to get cracking. Between potions of swiftness and the new librarian and the plan that I have of wanting to switch to pumpkin pie as soon as I get all the ingredients together, I think that means it's time to have a closer sugarcane source. Because right now my only source is way down there. It's a bit of a hassle to go there. So I'll plant some more here. Hopefully I'll remember to harvest it. And I think it'll also be very thematic because with the sugarcane covering this area, it might be less likely that somebody will notice that something is going on here. So it'll be less likely to investigate. So it'll fit in with the secretive nature of the people. Hopefully, any potential people that will stumble onto it aren't looking for sugarcane. Well, there's always that danger. Now, let's see about what we will get with our first trade. Hello? Okay, let's try this. Okay, well that opened up something. Alright, see, because that's the look at the seed thing. 10 books for an emerald. I hope that's not typical. Alright, 10 emeralds for a compass. I could more easily make that myself. 4 emeralds for a bookshelf. That will come in handy. As soon as I got enough emeralds, then I can get myself a bookshelf. That'll save me the trouble of a cattle farm at least. Though I think a cattle farm might still be an idea, but that'll mean rustling up cattle all over the place. And I can tell you, a concentration of cattle being seen from the air, I think, is a dead giveaway that something's going on somewhere. Just thinking. Of course, they may just assume there's a cattle ranch. While I wait for that sugar cane to grow so I could learn more about my new cleric there. Not cleric. Oh, that was wishful thinking, I think, because I was really hoping for a cleric. I know he had a white coat on there, which meant, yeah, it was going to be a librarian. But I need a cleric more because I want a reliable source of glowstone, and clerics are the most reliable source. I have to see if I can find a cleric somewhere in the world that has a decent trade on there. I do know of one, and that is at a wither skeleton farm where there are a couple of villagers there for trading the things that are dropped there. One of them is a cleric. So I got a little glowstone from there, but that's way, way, way at the end of the east corridor, so that's not going to do. Fill that in. But the thing I want to be making here is a room that is desperately in need of making. And that was inspired by one of the earlier scenes. And this is going to be my spruce room. It's a general room for meditation on the spruce. Now, you know that I did put a spruce sapling into there so that the initiate candidate will be able to do so, but I think I'm also going to need one that's for general use for going on and contemplating an area. Say, why? That's a natural question, I think. And that is because, if you recall from last season, if you saw any of those episodes, I had created a subway tunnel, and in that tunnel, the plan was, I never really got too many in there, was to plant a sapling whenever I had what I could deem a spruce moment. In other words, a complete idiotic moment. It's sort of a equivalent to Mumbo Jumbo's spoon counter. So the spruce counter then is to plant a spruce whenever I have a really, really stupid thing, such as miscutting blocks on a 3-to-1 ratio. And there you have it. Now, unfortunately, what I haven't figured out is how to link that with that without it looking wrong, because I can't push into there, I think, without exposing that, which I don't think would be good. So therefore, I think I put myself into a little bit of a bind on that score. So I have to think of something to do with that area. But for now, this is how it looks in isolation. I think that's fine. Now inside I'll be using jack-o'-lantern, so it's a little bit of an earth-oriented room. And I'll have some shelves here. Now I'm using oak instead of spruce. simply for the contrast. Now, is this the right height? That's the thing I need to test, because I want to start on the floor. Actually, no, start on the. I'm going to test to see if it works on the floor. All right, that will work, but initially I'll be placing them on top of the shelf, if I can do that. All right, good. And I'll start over there, and as time goes along, hopefully I won't too quickly fill this all up, but that's the first for the spruce room. On second thought, that looks a bit on the ugly side. Yeah, I wanted the oak for some contrast there, but I think that's a little bit too much. I need something a little bit more subtle, but won't blend in too much as you would if we used spruce for it. What would happen if I did that? Would it look any better? We're using slabs instead of planks. Well, it would have to be here. Yeah. Right, because before it looked a little bit too chunky. There! Much better, I think. I'll have to let that sink in for a while. Back with hope here. I've managed to unlock my second trade. Oh, first off, I got a good glass trade, so therefore I will be able to get glass through here if I run out of sand. And my second enchanted book is Thorns 3. Now, what I do need is a source of books, and that means leather. Okay. I was thinking that I could get such things to the librarian, but no. You provide books to the librarian, you don't buy them. So therefore, I will get glass here, and Thorns 3, that may be useful under some circumstances. So, there may be other circumstances where I don't want it, such as if pigmen are near. Well, maybe that's not the best trade for me. After some contemplation, I decided to change the appearance on the front here to widen it. So now that it is one wider than it was before, or I should say one in each direction, so it's two wider in all. And I think that matches better, yes. These are all smaller, but they're also all grouped together. And I think this works. That allowed me to put a post there. I had to do a double width here in order to make everything work out, but I think that is much better looking than what I had before. And now I think I like the results. And aside here now, I also have more room. It felt a little tight before anyway. So now, maybe I have a little bit more room if things go poorly. Now, I'll call that a design decision and not worthy of another spruce. It's nowhere near the scale of the 10 versus 30 thing down there. But I think that's all we have for today. When I return next time, I think we are going to find a home for our friend over here. Hopefully one that is going to be safe, just in case any more zombies pop in around here, because I really don't want to go through this all over again. But that's our show for today. And until next time, this is Pineleaf Needles reminding you to build responsibly.